Welcome to another edition of the Paranormal Zone. I'm your co-host, Tom Spitalere. Bob McDermott is away tonight on an investigation, so he will be back next week. The Paranormal Zone is set up to look at many different facts of the paranormal, being ghosts, UFOs, UABs, Bigfoot, and anything that could go boom into the night. And as we start heading into October, which is my least favorite month. Oh, wait a minute. It's my favorite month of the year. Darn it. We get a lot of events going on, a lot of stuff going on. The Paranormal Zone is going to have some real interesting people coming on. I don't have all the facts yet, but we actually have a group possibly coming on from Ireland in the next 2 weeks. We've had somebody from England. Now we'll deal with Ireland, and we'll keep moving across the great big ocean. So for tonight, I'm bringing Jocelyn as my co-host. Hey, Jocelyn, how we doing?
Good. How are you guys?
I'm wonderful. This is going to be a great show.
Hi.
And I like to invite and let everybody know who my guest is tonight. I have Leigh from Ivory and Onyx, and this is going to be a great show. This is not going to be about paranormal.
I'm excited. Welcome, Leigh.
Thank you. Thank you.
This isn't going to be about paranormal tonight. This is not going to be about UFOs. That was a couple weeks ago, so check out the Ray Hernandez event, because that was one of the best shows we've had on, and they've all been great. But this is going to be about an egg. Don't you like how I put that? An egg. It's also going to be an egg. And it's also going to be, we're going to talk a little bit about apothecary and the egg, the harmonic egg, and holistic healing.
Ooh.
And the benefits. So this is a little different of a show today, and
I'm excited. This should be good.
yes, it's going to be great. So, without further ado, I want to introduce Leigh. Hey, welcome, Leigh.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you very much. So, Leigh, how long you been in this type of metaphysical apothecary care? How long?
So this is a huge career shift for me. Actually, my second career shift. So I've been doing energy healing for about 3.5 years. I'm a certified herbalist, and I received my diploma for that in 2022. I also practice integrated energy therapy, which is my first energy healing modality that I learned. I'm also a Reiki level 2 practitioner and the primary harmonic egg guardian. And the harmonic egg is our light and sound therapy chamber. It is an 11 by 7 foot geometric pod in which a person enters. You can sit or lay in an anti-gravity chair, and you are bathed in colored light and sound frequencies for 50 minutes in order to facilitate healing, energetic healing in the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual aspects of your self.
That's amazing, Leigh. Leigh, if you don't mind, can you explain what Reiki is to our listeners?
Certainly. So Reiki is an energy healing practice in which the practitioner will gently lay hands upon a person to restore balance to their chakra systems. And the chakra systems are the sort of meridians through which our universal life force energy flows. And so when those are out of balance, we can experience physical discomfort, emotional discomfort, and the practitioner will sort of tune into where things are out of alignment and bring everything back into the center for you so that you can live your life with greater peace and harmony.
I love that.
I
yes,
do too.
I've done Reiki a few times myself, Tom as well. And I know that we're very familiar with it. We have a good friend that does this as well. And so I know it's very beneficial to all parties. So it's amazing that you're still doing that and that you're level 2. It's a huge help.
Yes. And I would say that I don't practice it as often as our Reiki master. So we have a Reiki master, Lynn O'Neill Clark. She is absolutely extraordinary. She's been practicing Reiki since the 1990s.
Oh, so she got in the early.
Oh, yes.
I mean, that's not early. I mean, Reiki goes back to
certainly,
before
yes.
time, but
before it became a mainstream thing.
Before it became a mainstream thing, so she was in early, which is good.
Yes. So she's had thousands upon thousands upon thousands of hours of practical experience, and she is so gifted at really tuning into a person's body and identifying where things are out of whack. She can put her hands upon you.
And what would you find beneficial from having a Reiki treatment?
So Reiki is deeply relaxing. I would say that there are people who prefer their treatments to be hands-on. So for an example, in the egg, there is no hands-on contact with the human person going inside.
We haven't gotten to the egg yet.
Yeah, right. But some people prefer Reiki because you do have a person. People like to be touched, especially coming out of the pandemic where people were isolated from human contact. You know, they experienced loneliness and heartache. And when the world started to come back online and people could interact again and get within 6 feet of each other, I think people just craved that healing touch. And if you have a practitioner who is deeply compassionate like Lynn, they're just going to have a beautiful experience and come out feeling loved and cared for. And I love that.
So at your store, you have the Reiki, you have the holistic healing. What else do you have at this store?
So we have massage therapy, which is a full hands-on experience. And some people prefer that because they're really not into the woo-woo, right? So, you know, you have your people that go to the gym and they lift super heavy weights and they just like want their muscles crunched after. Massage isn't really for me. I prefer to work in the subtle energy field. So we have massage. We'll be offering aesthetics. So we'll be doing some holistic facials, facial massage, scalp massage. I mentioned before.
I'm excited.
Oh my gosh. We have so many beautiful things.
Where are you located?
So we're in North Andover on Route 114. Okay. The address is 630 Turnpike Street, and we're on the second floor of that. It's a blue building a couple of doors down from the Starbucks Plaza.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's really...
You can get Starbucks or you can get Starbucks after.
Yes, indeed.
It's
but
really
we have some beautiful herbal teas that we sell.
I'd love that.
Yes, we have a product line that we offer called Anima Mundi, and that was developed by an herbalist, Adriana Ayalas. Her products are luxurious. They are exquisite. They are all organic. And they really align with our brand. And as an herbalist, I love when people can bring the healing energy of plants into their day-to-day life.
I can promise you I'll be by your store soon.
Oh, please stop in. I'd love to show you everything that we have there. People come into our space, and it's almost like the second they walk in the door, they just exhale. They say that it is peaceful, and it is.
I love that.
Yeah, we just try to create an environment where people de-stress from the moment they walk in the door until the moment that they leave.
That's perfect. And that's what you need to express in your work, right? So I work in a different type of living, but my main job is to make sure that everyone is able to feel happy when they walk in the door.
That's important.
And feel comfortable and feel at home.
Indeed.
So I understand. So I truly appreciate that.
Thank you.
That's a very interesting start to this show. I mean, we're already off to a hot spot because this is something that's not new. It's been around for, thousands of years?
Well, certainly a sound therapy. If you go back to the Aborigines and the didgeridoo, which is like this long stick, and it has like beans or whatever inside, and they would use it. They would shake it over their sick people, and that would be their methodology of healing. If you look at the 12th century and the physician and nun Hildegard von Bingen, who is my spirit guide. I love her. I did my final project in my herbalism class on her. I love her so much. She was a healer who believed in the power of music, the power of herbs, and when she was treating her patients, she would often have some of the nuns come in and sing around her patients, and that would heal them.
Well, singing is very melodic.
Yeah.
That's right. Singing is very melodic, so that would help. And Native Americans have been using those bean sticks. I mean, I own a few of them. I've used them to calm down houses with once in a while. You can do a lot with those.
Certainly. And drumming.
Drumming, yep. I also have a
Americans.
little drum that I can use to reach out to one of those hand drums. You go like...
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Anything, really.
So, I mean, you can use... This is just a different way of looking at the same world that we've all lived in. We're just looking at it from a more metaphysical...
But it's the same world, right, Tom?
It is the same world,
we work with Patty Anastasia. I don't know if you know her.
I don't. Tell me about
Well,
that.
She's
you
an
need to be
animal...
friends.
A good friend,
You
an
need to be
animal
friends.
communicator, too.
Oh,
Right
I just met her. I just met her at
You
Haver's.
did?
Yes, at Haver's
Yay!
Woofstock.
Yeah,
Yes.
she was at Wolfstock, yes.
Yes, okay. I was supposed to be there, but I was sick. But,
Oh, it was a wonderful day.
so we
Oh, so
work
you were
very
one of
well
the vendors
together.
at Wolfstock,
She's part
too?
of our team.
Amazing.
So you were one of the... So how did Wolfstock go? Because I did do a little... We'll talk just briefly. Was it a good day?
I thought it was amazing. So our Reiki practitioner was going to be performing animal Reiki sessions, and that morning she texted me to say, "I'm sorry, I can't make it. I'm sick today." And so I had to strike that because I couldn't speak to the benefits of the egg and give Reiki to the dogs myself. But it ended up being the most magnificent, beautiful, dynamic day that I've had. Oh, my God. People who own dogs have the most open and loving hearts. I can't even begin to describe to you the incredible energy that was at this event. The organizer, Cindy, is a friend of mine.
Yeah.
She is...
I know her well.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God, is she a brilliant, brilliant woman. And the event was top-notch. Truly.
So, well, that's good. I'm happy they had a good turnout for that.
Yes.
And that took place on an old farm in Bradford, which was originally Raleigh, called Silsby's Farm. And
Chris is now.
And Silsby's Farm is also a very active location.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
I didn't sense any of that. All I felt was love.
Yeah, well, because all the animals. But if you walked around the farm and checked out some of the older homes.
Oh, you'll have...
I'm so sad that you didn't meet me and Daphne. So you must have met Ladybug.
I don't know if I met Ladybug. I met quite a few dogs. Gypsy.
Ladybug is
Patty's dog.
Patty's puppy.
Oh, I didn't see a dog when I introduced myself to Patty. I saw a man that
you
must
can
have
bring
been
her
her
there.
significant other.
So Daphne also comes on all of our excursions.
Oh, my goodness.
And Daphne has done a lot with me in death work and types of love like that.
Well, dogs are healers themselves. And
Yeah, so,
yeah.
and Tom knows Daphne well now. We call her our mascot at this point in time. But so we all work close in this. And yeah, so if you don't know her well, I'd like you guys to keep in touch, and maybe we can all meet up sometime.
I would love that.
That'd be great.
Yes.
All right. So let's get
But
on.
can we change the subject? Yeah, what's the egg?
What's the egg? Yeah.
Yes. So
So the egg. Let me just. I'm looking at the egg right now. Okay. And this thing looks
okay.
like. I'm not in the egg. This looks like something out of for our older listeners, Buck Rogers. All right.
Okay.
This
What
looks
does
like
that mean?
something. Buck Rogers was a sci-fi TV show in the late 70s, I believe.
I have no clue what you're talking about. Keep going.
So anyhow, it was a futuristic show. This would be something that looked like came out of Buck Rogers or a Star Wars. You know what this actually looks like looking at this too? If you remember what, and God rest his soul, James Earl Jones, when he was Lord Vader, the tank that Lord Vader was in when he took off his mask so he could breathe. It's an egg shape, and it's got a nice chair in there, and I'm going to turn it back over to Leigh so she can explain what the egg really is, but it looks pretty cool, and rumor has it that there's not many eggs like this therapy in the area.
That is true.
Is there a color to it?
So the egg exterior is painted like an egg, so it's, a shade of white. It is 11 feet wide by 7 feet tall and 11 feet deep.
So we're not going to be able to cook that egg in a frying pan then?
No, that would be...
I did not expect that size.
Yes, that would be a really big frying pan.
Okay.
Yes. So it is a chamber, and it was designed by an automotive engineer named Gail Lynn, who, after a couple of career changes in the corporate world, suffered a health crisis. And she didn't find a lot of improvement from traditional medicine. And so she went on a deep dive into alternative healing. And with that, she found that light and sound were very helpful to her in healing her cardiac issues. And so the first iteration of the egg was actually like a coffin or sort of tanning bed type shape. And you see that a lot even now with near-infrared light therapy, like the Trifecta 3000, which Dr. Amari has, and Haverhill, which is amazing.
Dr. Amari? You mean the chiropractor?
The chiropractor, yes, has a Trifecta.
Dr. Samuel Amari.
Yes.
Do I know him?
He's
Wait a minute, let me
wonderful.
think.
I love
Yeah,
him.
we do. I'm picturing that right now.
Yes, and
Dr. Sam Amari. Oh, I know who Dr. Sam Amari is. He's just finishing up. I know exactly who he is.
He's tremendous, and I love that he's embracing these sort of alternative things too. But the egg itself isn't near-infrared frequency. The near-infrared primarily focuses on physical issues like inflammation. It can help with weight loss and things like that. And the egg does do that too. But the egg can touch upon emotional imbalances, mental imbalances, spiritual imbalances, and that's where things like the Trifecta 3000 don't help you. Or even like sauna. That's a big thing right now in biohacking. But I think that is what sets us apart, is that people who have anxiety or heartache from a recent loss, or they just feel disconnected from whatever they think the creator is, whether they call it God or Jesus or the universe or source, the egg can help reconnect you back to that.
And how would that help?
I think a lot of people feel lost. They don't know what their purpose is. They don't know how to look inside.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that happens to almost everyone, right? At one day in life, right? Everyone feels lost. Everyone feels grief.
Certainly, yes.
So, getting into the egg, into the egg, is that correct?
Yes. So the door is on like a sliding sort of platform, and the door pulls out. And Tom is right. It does look like a spaceship. It is literally like entering a spaceship. So the door slides out, and the client would step onto the platform and then step up into the egg. Inside of the egg is an anti-gravity chair on a hexagonal platform. And we'll get back to hexagon and why that's important. So the anti-gravity chair can tilt all the way back so that you're in a sort of inverted position whereby your feet are higher than your heart. And then there is light above you. There is light that comes from below you. And then speakers on your left and on your right. So you are bathed in 2 different colors. And the sound, whatever song protocol is appropriate for what you're working on, sort of fills the chamber. And the acoustics are absolutely incredible. It's like having your own private symphony.
So how many people fall asleep in that chamber?
A lot of people fall asleep. A lot of times I will open the door at the end of the session and they will be out cold with their arms dangling like on the 2 sides of the chair. Sometimes I'll open the door and people are just smiling from ear to ear, laughing. Sometimes people are crying. And I can actually feel, if I open the door to the room and someone has let go of a lot of grief, heartache, I'm going to cry now. I could feel that.
You're okay.
When I open the door, because their emotions are heavy and they've let them go and they sort of like dissipate into the room. And the
Absolutely.
the egg does an amazing job of getting those emotions, and I don't want to call them negative because as far as I'm concerned, no emotions are negative.
That is true.
Yes. So the sadness just
This
kind
is
of...
amazing to hear about because have you ever done a salt bath or one of those?
Yes. Yes, I
Is it
have.
the same idea?
Well, the anti-gravity chair is something similar.
Okay.
The salt caves are great if you have respiratory issues, if you have skin issues.
See, I don't like that. I personally, that's my personal opinion, is the salt bath idea is hard for me.
It can be very drying. So it creates an environment that to some very sensitive people could be conceived as harsh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the difference then.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if you're someone who has, especially right now, the ragweed this year has been horrific.
That it is.
People like that would love the salt cave, and it's going to clear out all of that mucus, not to use like a disgusting term on the radio, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And it is actually anti-inflammatory as well. And we have these beautiful domes in our center so that before a person goes into an egg session or when they come out, or any session really, they can put their feet on these halotherapy lamps, and they're these large Himalayan salt lamps, and that helps warm them up after their egg session because your temperature can drop significantly when you're inside of the egg. Especially if we use the color purple, drops your basal temperature significantly. Yeah, it's amazing.
All right. Yeah, you and I are definitely going to talk after.
That is no, that is very interesting. So, is this a one and done session for people? Is this multiple sessions? Is this a daily thing, weekly thing? What's the usual?
So I would say if you are dealing with something chronic or something heavy emotionally, it's going to take more than one session to get you to a place where you feel like you're back in balance.
Mm-hmm.
And because I'm trained in so many different modalities, there's a medical intake process, and we have a conversation. And whatever you're comfortable sharing, that's great. And if you're not comfortable sharing, we can just use the session as a way for you to de-stress. But I really like to unpack why people are unwell, why they feel unsettled, why they feel imbalanced. What do they need? How can I help them? I think that's just as important to the process as you going inside of the egg and experiencing the beautiful light and the beautiful sound.
And I thank you about that, Leigh, because we have so many listeners on our podcast all the time that are always looking for help and listen in constantly and don't know where to look for it, right? Because we can offer help in different ways. And you're our first one to offer help in this way right now, other than Reiki. And I'm sure we have listeners that are going to be excited to hear this. So you're in North Andover.
Yes, I'm in North Andover.
We'll put that through at the end of this conversation as well. And make sure to post that. And I'm going to ask, so I'm not in the studio right now, I'm on the phone, but maybe you guys take a picture with the egg
Oh, yes, I can take a picture. I actually have several pictures on my phone currently. I can share them with Tom.
So we can post that,
Yeah,
because that would be
absolutely.
nice.
Yes.
And just so people know what it looks like. Like, so I had no idea. I thought it was just a little egg. I had no idea what you guys were talking about.
It's a huge egg, and we're so lucky to have it.
All right. So we have the egg, which is so. Is this like so? It's going to depend upon the individual whether they go once a month, once a week, once every 2 months, 3 months.
Yes, I do have a lot
Whatever
of...
they want.
Yes, it is
What
up
it sounds
to...
like.
Yes, I tell people, if they're just using it as this is a cool experience, I tell people, come back when you're called to come back. You know, you'll listen to your inner voice and know when you're feeling a little stressed and you need to sort of decompress and you want to do that in the egg. You'll know when to come back. And for people who have more serious things, we talk in depth about what is the best system of care for them. And sometimes I'll even have them go back and forth between the egg and Reiki, or the egg and maybe a massage if that calls to them. So it is absolutely, Tom, you're right, that it is up to the individual and what their needs are.
Mm-hmm. And
I'm coming.
Thank you. I can't wait to see you.
I'm
So-
so excited.
well, that's all good, great information, actually. So, what else do you? Because we still got plenty of time to discuss many other things tonight.
Certainly.
The apothecary.
Yes.
So what do you do for that? So you get bath and ointments, or what is that?
So the majority of products that we sell are powdered herbs, teas,
Okay.
elixirs, which are tonics, tinctures,
Awesome.
and some of the same line, Anima Mundi. They have a skincare line that is exquisite. We also sell electrolytes, and they pair with the egg. So in the egg, you can become dehydrated because you're detoxing. And these electrolytes, they're called superior electrolytes, and they truly are superior. There is no sugar. They're all natural. They have Himalayan sea salt, acerola berry extract, bamboo extract, which is great for scalp circulation. And
Wonderful.
they're truly delicious. I love them. I drink them all day. And then we have some
What do they taste like?
We have so many flavors, and every day my favorite flavor changes. Right now, my favorite flavor is called Fresh Citrus, and we had free samples of it at the Haverhill's Woofstock, and it was a huge hit.
Ooh.
Yes, but we have grape and lemon and watermelon and raspberry. I find that a lot of people, when they come out of the egg, I give them a free cup of the electrolytes, and we kind of have a chat afterwards. And I think most people go home buying a canister, or we have little travel packs too. You can put them in your gym bag.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then we sell
Good.
books, books about herbalism, books about energy healing, books about fulfilling your purpose.
All right.
Yep.
So herbalism, that's a huge market now.
It is.
So how many different type of herbal mixes do you guys move or sell? Or
I sell quite a few. I do. And I love these products because many of them are powdered herb, and that you can just like sprinkle. You could sprinkle it on a salad. You could sprinkle it into your morning smoothie. You could put some in your coffee. I sell rose powder, which is amazing, particularly for people who are grieving, but they're not really grieving. So for an example, I lost my dad in October, and I was building this business, and I didn't really have time to fully unpack the fact that my dad is gone. But Rose has been incredibly healing because it allows your heart to sort of open up slowly, as opposed to opening it up all at once and dumping out the grief. Because, you know, when you're a business owner, you don't have time for that.
no, that's 80 hours plus a week.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Not that you ever really have time for grief, but so I've been taking that therapeutically I also put it.
No one has time to grieve, but there's always a time for grieving, and there's always a time to be happy.
Yes, indeed.
So
Remember that.
there's a lot of different herbs out there for a lot of different things.
Yes,
obviously.
certainly.
Some of the herbs that you either make or you have at the store, what are some of the other uses for some of the herbs, the more common ones?
So if you're looking to sort of relax at the end of a day, I think most people are familiar with chamomile. That's a tea that people drink before bedtime to sort of let go of the day and enjoy a deep, restful sleep.
I'll be honest with you, chamomile does the opposite. It does relax me, but it doesn't put me to sleep.
And, you know, everyone will have a different energetic reaction to a plant. If you want a certain, this is going to sound crazy, but
Nothing's crazy.
if you want a certain result from a plant, whether it's in a tea or a powder form or whatever, you have to first introduce yourself to the plant. So if you have a cup of chamomile tea before you, you would say, "Hello, chamomile. My name is Tom, and I'm looking for help sleeping tonight. If you could please grant me a peaceful sleep, I would appreciate it." And then you enjoy your tea and see what happens.
That's something I'd have to try that way,
So-
because usually when I have chamomile tea, I keep everything separate, but it's at my other job, and it's usually during the busiest time of the fundraising season for me, and I'm all running around, my head chopped off my shoulders, and I might be there till 2 a.m. some nights, and some nights I'm there till 8, depending on what it takes to finish the fundraiser off. And we got chamomile tea in there, and all the English teas and everything. You can, Tom, drink this. This will help you relax a little bit. Might relax me, but then I'm wide awake.
Well,
It's like sipping
Tom.
caffeine.
So relaxing also, Leigh, I worked for the shaman way back when, and I learned to do three circles around whatever I'm drinking,
Oh,
talking about what I'm doing.
that's fascinating. I love that.
And so that's helped me a lot. Tom knows that. I've gone through a lot of struggles myself. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
But a lot of things have happened. So if you do 3 strokes or 3 circles around whatever cup you're drinking and you're just asking for help and you're asking for prayers, it normally comes true.
I love that. That's a little witchy,
Normally.
and that's right up my alley. How beautiful is that? Tom, I would also recommend to you, if chamomile doesn't do the trick, you could explore lemon balm. Lemon balm is a beautiful plant, tastes delicious, also helps with relaxation and sleep. There's also passion flower, which smells like a dirty sock, but it helps especially with people who wake up in the middle of the night and can't fall back asleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what some of the other, there's big sellers out there that help people out. For
People
different things.
right now, ashwagandha is like super
Yep.
trendy.
Okay, so what's that for the people who are listening all across the world that may not know what that is? Because I'll be one of them, and I'm not across the world. That one I never heard of.
Ashwagandha is an adaptogen, and adaptogens are plants that they kind of bring balance. So if you need more of something, they will deliver that, or if you need less of something, they will deliver that. So ashwagandha helps to balance cortisol levels in your body. And I personally take it myself in a capsule form with other herbs in there as well. But I produce too much cortisol in the morning and not enough cortisol during the course of the day. So I take ashwagandha to balance that out. And it does both, which is amazing. All adaptogens are amazing. Rhodiola I also take for stress management, being a business owner.
There's no stress in that, is there?
Come on, sir.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I take that as a tincture, and that is delightful. We have a tea. I'm going to get this for you, Tom. We have a tea called Calm that we sell, and that has a bunch of herbs, including the lemon balm that I mentioned earlier. and it is the most delicious tea I've ever had in my life. It is wonderful, and it does what it says that it does. It isn't necessarily for sleep, but it is for that sort of deep relaxation that we're all looking for.
Yeah, I don't know if I know the definition of deep
I
relaxation.
want some too. Sign me up.
Of course.
I don't know if the deep relaxation thing, that's a little different for me.
I'm going to ask an off question, Tom. I'm going to say this out loud. He can block us when he wants to block us.
What?
But how would you feel about your current herb organics compared to people taking marijuana?
So I'm going to say this straight up. I personally am not a proponent of cannabis in any form. It is not something that my herbal professors necessarily embraced either. I do.
And I agree with that. That's what I'm asking.
I do appreciate it in certain contexts. I think for people who have severe chronic pain, it can be helpful. I think for people who are suffering from something terminal, it can be helpful. But I do think that cannabis is addictive in many cases, and people abuse it so that they disconnect themselves from their feelings as opposed to feel those feelings, process those feelings, integrate those feelings, and then let them go.
That makes sense.
Yes.
That makes total sense. I mean, so if someone came to you and said, I have severe pain issues. I'm living with them, not terminal, but severe pain issues. What would you suggest that you have in your line that would help them out?
Well, the egg can certainly help with chronic pain. The color green is good for that, and there's many songs that can help with, well, it depends where the pain was localized, but there are songs for back pain, there are songs for neck and shoulder pain and tension. Reiki would be helpful with that, probably massage too. And there's some herbs that we could explore. It would depend what type of pain they were experiencing before I would recommend a specific herb. But I also think that emotions become trapped in the body when people bury them and don't deal with them. And so I would recommend that the person perhaps maybe go to see an alternative therapy like the emotion code, body code, belief code, which is practiced by Melanie Ward on Main Street in Haverhill. She is absolutely brilliant. She might be a great...
Wonderful.
Yeah, she might be a great resource. And there's all sorts of alternative healing out there. And we don't want to be competitive.
But a lot of people aren't open or not willing. No, that's not the word I'm looking for. They're not being shown that at this point.
Yes.
I know open alternatives because I know people. But other people don't know these people.
That's right.
And that's the unfortunate part right now in medicine, is that they're not able to understand that there's other alternatives, holistic, and so forth.
Certainly.
So we talked about...
So how do we change that?
I think part of it is education. We try to do that. We offer workshops and events. I write a blog on our website.
So where's your website so people can read this blog?
It's www.ivoryonyx.com, IVORYONYX.com. We're also on Instagram at Ivory_and_Onyx, and we're on Facebook too.
The other thing that's out there, we haven't really discussed it, as far as therapy is concerned, not pain therapy and stuff, is I used to do it.
Acupuncture?
Acupuncture.
I think that actually is amazing for chronic pain.
That's good.
Yeah, I do know people with certain types of arthritis that have had huge success with acupuncture. I personally don't know of any practitioners that I could recommend, but I do know that that can be very, very helpful. And I wouldn't discourage somebody from trying that if it called to them.
Right. And here's the important thing, though. It's just like a pendulum or anything else. You got to have it calling to you, and you're going to have to accept.
Indeed, yes.
It's one thing you can go to the store and buy all those from anybody, the herbs from you and anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't accept the healing of it, it's just
That's right.
a hot water mix and
That's right. You have to be open
Into
to
the
it.
tea.
And you have to know what your intention is. And that's another important part of the egg intake process, is that I will ask you to explore what is your intention for this session. Because the power of the mind helps with healing as much as the frequencies inside the egg do. And so if you're directing the energy and you're telling the egg, telling the cells of your body, I want to heal my insomnia, the intention set forth is going to direct the healing specifically to help with that insomnia. And the color blue.
so the egg can help with insomnia.
Absolutely, yes. I actually have a client who happens to be my son's girlfriend, Eva. Hello, Eva. I helped her with some serious insomnia.
Oh, that's good. That because there's not
Can I
many.
ask you a
Yeah.
quick question
Sure.
for the team? Can we try to plan an event for the team, Tom, to go meet with Leigh? We can video it and do all that to show her case.
I would love that. If Tom would love that, I would love that.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with
I
that.
think that'd be good, Tom.
I also want to tie in some interesting dynamics between the egg and the paranormal.
Okay.
So
That's what I'm saying. We can get a lot from that.
yes. So I want the listeners to know that you don't have to physically be present in the egg for the egg to work. So we can take a photograph of a human being, a pet, a piece of land or property, and put it inside the egg and clear and heal the person, the pet, or the place.
That's amazing.
Yes.
So if you do it that way, that is amazing.
Yes.
So, okay, so somebody from Michigan calls up and they lost their pet and they're very sad.
Yes.
Okay. So they text you or email you a picture of Shaggy or Scoopy. We'll call him Scoopy. All right. So here comes Scoopy. Now you put Scoopy in the machine.
Yep.
Now, what should they be doing? Should they be sitting at home? Should they be at the rodeo? Should they be out at the local market? Or should they be sitting at home relaxing during the same session?
That's a brilliant question. And yes, you are absolutely right. The person or pet should be at home in a relaxed position or doing a quiet activity. And so what I
Such
encourage...
as coloring.
They could color. Usually pets will curl up in their little bed. And in fact, I did a remote session with Cindy from Haverhill's Woofstock, her dog Nigel. He's a happiness ambassador. He's a very famous pet on social media. But from time to time, Nigel has digestive issues. And so we put Nigel in the egg, and Cindy's intention for him was to continue his general good health, but help sort of deal with those digestion problems that he has. I gave Cindy a link to some of the free songs that are on the Harmonic Egg website. And she cuddled up with Nigel and she played the music beside him while I put Nigel in the egg, his little photograph with his name and birth date on the back. And if I remember correctly, I had him in green to help his digestion, and blue to keep him calm. And I played a different song than the song that Cindy was playing, and that's fine because they'll sort of work in tandem and direct the energy appropriately.
Well, the song is really just to make the person focus, right?
That's part of it, yes. But the frequency, the interior of the egg, and it's a 2-dimensional dodecagon. When you're enclosed inside of the egg, the sound frequency and the light frequency, the way that they bounce off the interior creates what's called a scalar wave. And those scalar waves, they work on subtle energy, and they are very, they penetrate at a deep cellular level. That's how it works. When it's a remote session, it's working on the quantum physics sort of facet of it called non-locality, and entanglement, whereby two beings don't need to be in the same place at the same time to exchange energy, which is fascinating and amazing. And I don't purport to be a scientist by any stretch of anyone's imagination, but I do know that it works.
Random question.
Yes.
How much do you ask for a payment?
So one single session is $130, but we often offer specials. We had a special throughout the summer where a single session was $99. But I will point out, if any people are listening to this show and they mention the show when they come in to meet with me, I will offer them a session in the egg for $99.
I love that.
All right, so people listening across the world.
We're here to support you. That's what we're here for.
Right.
And we support everything you're doing, my friend.
Thank you.
You're doing an amazing job for everyone out there in the world.
All right, so if you're listening in England or Scotland or Germany or even Russia, because we've got listeners all across the mighty universe, if you mention this episode in this show, this should be, I believe, it'll be up on Spreaker within the next hour or so. Just look at the episode number and I'll give you, but I believe we're up to episode 29 now, but I'll make sure before you leave you know what episode we're at.
That's brilliant.
And you mentioned this episode that you listened to it, and you, even if you're across the world, email. And how could they email you if they're across the world?
They could email me directly at Leigh, and it's spelled Leigh, at ivoryonyx.com. They can book their appointment online, also at www.ivoryonyx.com. They could call me at 781-779-5933. But I would also say that if you're interested in going to an egg in person and you're not in Massachusetts, you could go on the Harmonic Egg website and search for one near you by location. There are 200 of them worldwide, and there are 2 of them in Massachusetts.
And 0 in New Hampshire?
0 in New Hampshire, and the closest one to us to the north is in Saco, Maine.
Oh.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
That's not that far up, but that's far enough right up. So we got 2 in Mass and 1 in Saco.
Yep. I'm not sure about Rhode Island. I don't think there are any in Rhode Island, but I could be wrong on that.
And then I imagine New York must have a few.
Where in Mass? Just you?
Yeah.
So we have one in North Andover, and the other one is in Natick.
No. You're the closest, my girl.
Yes. Yes.
And rumor has it too that they were the first in Massachusetts.
That is absolutely true. Our egg was actually installed in August of 2023. We were egg number 140. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. So we were undergoing a huge build out. Because we're not just a wellness center. If I could mention that we're also a hair salon, a makeup salon, and we offer cleaner, less toxic beauty products if that calls to you. We also offer traditional luxury salon services. If chemical toxicity is not a concern, we welcome everybody, whatever your preference.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that.
And certainly, no.
I never have to worry about a salon.
Me, Tom.
For anybody that knows me, I might as well just
We know.
take a straight edge razor and just go zoop 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 zoop. It's all gone because there's not much hair left on my head.
So I have so many other ideas for you, my girl, and I'm excited about that and exploring different things and going from there.
Well, I can't wait to meet you as well.
So that's
I really can't wait to discuss this, and we will go from there.
Okay.
But I'm so thankful for you to be spending your time with us tonight, talk to us, and describe everything you do. You do an amazing job. Your people do an amazing job.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Tom?
what?
What?
Oh, so there's sometimes we miss a cue here and there. I'm having all sorts of volume problems here tonight.
Poor Tom.
So we got the salon. We put so what else is in the store that will help people out besides we talked about some of the herbs.
Oh, yes. So we have the herbs.
We discussed a lot of that.
Right, we discussed the herbs. Is there anything else in the store?
Don't cut that.
One other thing that we offer is these beautiful lavender eye pillows that are designed and handcrafted by a local holistic health coach named Kathy Sullivan. They're beautiful. They're in all the different colors of the chakras. Some of them are scented with lavender, and if you have issues with fragrance, we have unscented ones as well. But some jewelry too. So before I opened this business, in all of the different iterations of my career, I design jewelry and sell it at craft fairs. So all the leftover inventory that I hadn't sold, we're selling some of those things, and we've got some semi-precious gemstone bracelets and earrings and things of that nature. So
it's a great one-stop shop for birthday, Christmas, and Christmas is right around the corner. So if you want to, if anybody's thinking, even if it's across the world, you can still come by, shop. I imagine you can shop online for some of this stuff through your store too, correct?
We don't have e-commerce yet. We're hoping to unroll that in 2025. And also, and develop our own line of herbal products as well.
I know you also do, because we talked about this earlier today when we had the phone conversation. We got a few minutes left. You also have people that come in and do talks for you too, correct?
Yes, we offer many workshops that touch upon all the 4 pillars of holistic health that we've talked about: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. We had a class last night taught by Cindy Morgan from Haverhill's Woofstock, and she taught a class. Yes, amazing. She taught a class called The Art of Changing Your Life, and there was a cute and fun activity called Happiness Activation, whereby people would write an affirmation on a card and then decorate it creatively with markers and crayons and stickers and glitter. And I think it really helped people to realize how powerful positive thinking is and that it can truly change your life. With Cindy, I've never met anyone in my life who can call something into existence. Cindy speaks a dream out loud, snaps her fingers, and it comes true. It is absolutely unbelievable to witness. She's a very powerful woman, and I love her.
So, and these are, people can see your workshops on the website?
Yes. So all of our most of our upcoming workshops are available to purchase tickets now. Our next workshop is actually an event that's going to be held in the salon, and we are featuring Christine DeStefano, who is a psychic medium, and she's doing a gallery-style reading for 20 people. So it will be a 4-hour-long event. We'll be having herbal mocktails And our new massage therapist will be doing chair massages and just some, creative and fun activities related to Halloween and connecting with our crossed over loved ones. The class after that on October 20th is taught by Kathleen Jackson, and she's a master crystallogist. She's absolutely brilliant, and she's teaching people the power of crystal grids.
So a crystallogist is someone that deals with crystals.
Yes,
Okay.
indeed.
I
Yes.
just want to make sure, just in case people at home go, what is that?
Her methodology is a little bit different because she doesn't want people to memorize what the properties of a specific crystal are. She asks people to hold the crystal in their hand and determine for themselves how it makes them feel. But also by amplifying the power of any crystal by teaching people crystal grids. And those are like geometric shapes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. That's a different way of teaching crystal, that's for sure.
I'm fascinated. I can't wait till she comes in. And everyone who signs up for that class will receive roughly 50 crystals to take home, included in the price of the class. They'll receive instructional materials written by Kathleen and a beautiful glass dish, and they can choose beach sand or Himalayan salt as their sort of medium to lay down their grid. So you get a lot for your money, a good bang for your buck.
Well, that's excellent. I mean, it's nice to see that these events are going on to educate people, and that's right here in the Merrimack River Valley. We don't have far to go for this. If you're in Lawrence, where we are located in haunted downtown Lawrence, haunted James R. Ross Memorial Studios, you're only about 10 minutes down the road.
Indeed.
10, 15 minutes. Now, depending on traffic, but you're right here. You're right next door.
Should we talk about the orb? The orb that's at Ivory and Onyx?
Yeah, let's talk about the orb. You sent me a video on that orb, and that was really interesting.
Yes, indeed. So our Reiki Master Lynn was creating a video of the egg to post on social media. And an orb came out from inside the egg and sort of zipped. It went like up, it went up and to the right, and it landed in between these two huge metal angel wings that we have hanging on the wall, which is amazing. And since then, there have been instances where we'll turn off all the lights when we leave, but when we come back in the morning, some lights will be back on. But I don't sense anything malevolent or scary. I've been in the space by myself, doing my own sort of egg sessions.
I'm trying to be cleared right now. I'm just saying that because I'm bringing Daphne inside. Thank you.
Yeah. So I have heard footsteps when I've been there alone inside the egg. But amazingly, I don't feel frightened, so I don't want that to scare anybody away from coming in.
Well, no. That would make it more interesting, and you don't know where that energy came from. That energy may be, or that orb, energy light, whatever we want to call it orbs or energy. I mean, that could have been a, transient energy.
Certainly.
Just there that day and it's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, we really don't know if it's still there or not, so let's assume it isn't and everything's calm, peaceful. But if you like the paranormal and you want to, see if you walk in there to go get some great teas to relax you after a case, you can maybe, see a sense and feel if there's anything in there. But most likely it's probably a traveler.
That's interesting. I like that you said that, a traveler. The building itself used to be a midwifery, so my sense when I saw it was that it was a child or a baby, but, I'm not as tapped into these types of things that you are,
right,
Tom, so you could probably answer that better than me.
I mean, we'd have to go in there and walk around, which I will because I want to check the store out anyhow. I'll be coming up. I tried to get up here before the show, but that didn't happen. But, no, we'll see but that's what happens sometimes. And it doesn't matter if there's other energies around. Not all energy is bad.
Right.
Sometimes that energy there that's near the egg machine could actually help the person who's in the machine.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's all good. There's nothing bad about it. And, and here's the best thing. They're located right on Route 114. So, when you're heading out to the North Shore, you want to stop there first before heading into the North Shore area and enjoy the store.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Enjoy the area. We're coming to the end of this great show. We're going to have you back on because there's certainly more questions we can ask.
I would love to. I absolutely would love to.
Leigh, I want to thank you for coming on tonight. Jocelyn, I want to thank you for helping co-host the show tonight. Great co-host. Thank you very much.
Anytime.
Brilliant. Thank you, Jocelyn, and thank you, Tom.
No problem.
Thank you. I'll touch base with you later, okay?
Okay, that sounds great.
All right. So just a couple quick notes before we tune out for the night. I want to just make sure everybody knows that this Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday night, we will be at Haunted Hilldale Cemetery. Gates open at 6:30. And it's part of the Trails and Sales events. And coming real soon will be the October calendar. I cannot wait. The October calendar is pretty much done, thank God. But there's a lot going on in October. I want to thank you all for tuning in. And next week we'll have another great show planned for you. I want to thank you all for tuning in. This is the Paranormal Zone, where the normal and the zone meet, and where we look at different views of the UFO, paranormal, metaphysical. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and I'm heading back to my crypt. Have a good night, good morning, and good day.